Hey y'all, it's Kathleen from Yankee Homestead. We are talking about essential oils for the garden, for gardening. And on that topic, I want to share my absolute favorite way to clean and soften my grubby hands after gardening. This is great for cleaning grubby hands after any kind of grubby work. Like I'm thinking oil and grease, like mechanics. Anybody who works hard with their hands. Also great for taking sap and anything sticky, paint off the hands. But I use it most often after gardening when my hands, I'm trying to be better about wearing my gloves, but sometimes I just don't put the gloves on and my hands are really, really grubby and grimy, especially under the fingernails. So I love sugar scrub. I have another video all about sugar scrub for my feet. This recipe is slightly different, but I'm gonna talk about that. You really only need 3, possibly 4 ingredients for this sugar scrub, and it is super effective at removing all kinds of grease and grime and dirt from hands, and also softening the skin. So I used to use something called lava soap. I've used a lot of different things over the years after gardening, but everything I tried either didn't clean as well as I wanted it to, or it left my hands really dry and rough. So what I love about this sugar scrub is not only does it remove all the yuck, but it also softens and moisturizes my hands. And since I add essential oil, it smells great, and that skin is good for my, the oil is good for my skin too. So this is what you need. These are the 3 basic ingredients. It's just sugar, regular sugar. This is literally the only thing that I use sugar for in my home, except that we just started a kombucha journey, and I think we need sugar for that. So anyway, we use sugar for our sugar scrub. You might want to add fractionated coconut oil. This is what I use in my scoopable sugar scrub that I keep in the shower and use on my feet every time I'm in the shower, and it's worked wonders for my feet. But I add the fractionated coconut oil. This is a liquid, and it stays in liquid form. I added that to make that scrub more scoopable. So if you want a more scoopable scrub for your post-gardening hands, you can add fractionated coconut oil. Otherwise, only add regular coconut oil. You want to melt it when you're mixing up the scrub, but depending on the temperature of your home, we actually keep ours kind of cool. We live in an old home, and the upstairs gets really, really hot because we want the upstairs to be a bearable temperature. We have to keep the downstairs a little cooler than we normally would because we only have one cooling zone. It's a long story. But anyway, so my main level is a little cooler than you would think, even though it's summertime. So my scrub solidifies. And I don't know if you can actually see that this is a little bit dirty because we keep it near the sink and we use it when our hands are grubby. And this is the only case where I like to have a more firm, like a harder sugar scrub that I can scrape out, because what I do is I come in from gardening, we have a utility sink, and I wash my hands in the sink, like get a lot of the dirt off just with regular hand soap, and then I take my fingernails, even though they're still a little dirty, and I scrape out some sugar scrub with my fingernails. And then I rub that all over my hand, really work it in. And then I use a fingernail brush to really get in under my fingernails. And then I rinse it off. And then I usually do one more thing of sugar scrub just as like a final polish and softening. And then rinse my hands and dry. And my hands feel amazing. So anyway, you want to use sugar, melted coconut oil, optional fractionated coconut oil, or some liquid carrier oil if you want a softer, more scoopable scrub. Omit that extra carrier oil if you want a firmer, harder, scrapable scrub. And then essential oil of choice. For the scrub that I use on my hands in the kitchen or at our utility sink after gardening, I like to use lemon because lemon is really good for degreasing and degriming. So for instance, if I've got sap on my hands or paint, having lemon oil in that scrub really helps to remove all that stuff from my hands. This recipe, both recipes are on my blog at yankeehomestead.com. The harder, firmer sugar scrub is called Perfect Sugar Scrub. And then the newer, revised, more scoopable sugar scrub is called Scoopable Sugar Scrub. In general, you want to use twice as much sugar as liquid. And then for the scoopable scrub, I add a little more of the carrier. But those recipes are on the blog, and I can post the links in the description of this video. And then this is a 4-ounce container of sugar scrub, and I would add about 10 drops of lemon oil for a 4-ounce sugar scrub. So happy sugar scrubbing. You're going to love the way it makes your hands feel after gardening or after any kind of grubby work. Happy oiling!